The First World War, a conflict of unprecedented scale and devastation, reshaped the global order and left an indelible scar on humanity. Its origins are often presented as a chain reaction, a tragic inevitability following the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Yet, beneath this accepted narrative lies a complex web of political maneuvering, economic ambition, and hidden agendas that continue to fuel debate and speculation. For over a century, historians have grappled with the true causes of the Great War. Was it merely a diplomatic failure, or were deeper, more sinister forces at play? This documentary delves into the controversies surrounding World War I, exploring the theories that suggest a more deliberate, perhaps even conspiratorial, path to global conflict. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand in Sarajevo on June 28, 1914, is universally recognized as the immediate catalyst for the war. Gavrilo Princip, a Serbian nationalist, fired the shots that ignited a continent. However, to view this act in isolation is to miss the volatile geopolitical landscape that had been brewing for decades. Europe in 1914 was a powder keg of competing empires, intricate alliances, and burgeoning nationalisms. Germany's rapid industrialization and naval expansion challenged British supremacy, while France harbored deep resentment over Alsace-Lorraine. The Austro-Hungarian Empire struggled with internal ethnic tensions, and Russia sought to expand its influence in the Balkans. The intricate system of alliances, the Triple Entente of Britain, France, and Russia, and the Triple Alliance of Germany, Austria, Hungary, and Italy, is often cited as a primary mechanism for the war's escalation. These agreements, designed to deter aggression, instead created a domino effect. A localized conflict between Austria-Hungary and Serbia quickly drew in the major powers. Some argue that these alliances were not merely defensive pacts, but instruments of power projection, deliberately crafted to isolate rivals and prepare for an eventual showdown. The secret clauses and military conventions within these treaties suggest a level of premeditation that goes beyond simple mutual defense. The very structure of these agreements made a continent-wide war almost inevitable once the first shot was fired. Germany's unconditional support for Austria-Hungary, famously known as the blank check, is a critical point of contention. Kaiser Wilhelm II and Chancellor Theobald von Bethmann-Hollweg assured Vienna of Germany's full backing, effectively giving Austria-Hungary license to pursue a punitive war against Serbia. This decision dramatically escalated the crisis. Critics argue that Germany, far from being a reluctant participant, actively encouraged the conflict. Some historians suggest that German leadership saw an opportunity to break out of its perceived encirclement and assert its dominance in Europe. The blank check transformed a regional dispute into a continental crisis, making Germany a central player in the war's outbreak. Germany's military strategy, the Schlieffen Plan, further complicates the narrative of defensive war. This plan, developed years before 1914, called for a rapid invasion of France through neutral Belgium to defeat the French army before Russia could fully mobilize. Its existence implies a preemptive, offensive mindset rather than a purely reactive one. The Schlieffen Plan dictated Germany's immediate actions following Russia's mobilization, forcing an invasion of Belgium and drawing Britain into the conflict. This aggressive strategy, designed for a two-front war, suggests that German military planners anticipated and prepared for a major European conflict well in advance. Its rigid implementation left little room for diplomatic solutions once the crisis began. Beyond national leaders and military strategists, some theories point to the influence of powerful industrial and financial interests. The burgeoning arms industry, with its vast profits tied to conflict, is often implicated. Companies like Krupp in Germany, Vickers in Britain, and Schneider Creosote in France stood to gain immensely from a large-scale war. These merchants of death, as they were sometimes called, allegedly lobbied governments, funded nationalist movements, and even spread propaganda to foster an environment conducive to war. The idea that powerful economic elites profited from and perhaps even instigated the conflict remains a persistent and unsettling conspiracy theory. Their financial stakes were undeniably high, raising questions about their potential influence. Another layer of conspiracy theory focuses on international finance. Some argue that powerful banking families and financial institutions, particularly those with transnational interests, manipulated events to trigger the war. The theory suggests that these entities sought to profit from war loans, reconstruction efforts, and the subsequent restructuring of global economies. The immense debt incurred by warring nations created massive opportunities for lenders. This perspective posits that the war was not merely a clash of empires, but a calculated move by a global financial elite to consolidate power and wealth. While direct evidence of such a grand conspiracy is scarce, the financial implications of the war were undeniably transformative for many institutions. Britain's entry into the war, ostensibly to defend Belgian neutrality, is also subject to scrutiny. Some historians argue that Britain had deeper strategic motives, primarily to curb Germany's growing naval and economic power. Germany's challenge to British maritime supremacy was a significant concern for the British Empire. This perspective suggests that Britain, rather than being dragged into the conflict, actively sought to contain or even dismantle German power. The defense of Belgium provided a convenient moral justification for a war that served Britain's long-term imperial interests. The idea of a calculated British strategy to maintain global dominance adds another dimension to the war's origins. Russia's decision to fully mobilize its army in response to Austria-Hungary's declaration of war on Serbia is another critical juncture. While Russia claimed its mobilization was defensive, aimed at protecting its Slavic ally, it was perceived by Germany as an act of aggression. This move directly triggered Germany's own mobilization and the implementation of the Schlieffen Plan. Some theories suggest that Russia's mobilization was not merely a reaction, but a deliberate escalation, perhaps encouraged by France, to provoke a wider European conflict. The speed and scale of Russia's mobilization raise questions about its true intentions and whether it genuinely sought a peaceful resolution. Its actions undeniably accelerated the path to war. France's deep-seated desire for revenge against Germany, stemming from its defeat in the Franco-Prussian War of 1870-71 and the loss of Alsace-Lorraine, is a well-documented historical factor. This revanchist sentiment fueled French nationalism and military preparedness. The alliance with Russia was largely predicated on containing Germany. While not a conspiracy in the traditional sense, France's unwavering commitment to regaining its lost territories and weakening Germany contributed significantly to the pre-war tensions. This historical grievance made France a willing participant in any conflict that promised to redress past wrongs, shaping its diplomatic and military posture. The entry of the Ottoman Empire into the war on the side of the Central Powers further complicated the conflict, extending its reach into the Middle East. This decision was influenced by German diplomacy, naval power, and the Ottoman Empire's own geopolitical ambitions and fears of Russian expansion. The infamous Goeben incident played a crucial role. The Ottoman Empire's involvement transformed the war into a truly global conflict, opening new fronts and leading to the eventual collapse of the empire itself. Its entry was not a foregone conclusion, and the maneuvering that led to it highlights the complex interplay of national interests and external pressures. Once the war began, governments on all sides engaged in extensive propaganda campaigns to rally public support and demonize the enemy. Atrocities, both real and fabricated, were widely reported. This manipulation of public opinion was crucial for sustaining the war effort and maintaining morale. Some theories suggest that these propaganda machines were not merely reactive, but were actively used in the pre-war period to cultivate nationalist fervor and prepare populations for conflict. The systematic nature of wartime propaganda raises questions about the extent to which public consent for war was manufactured rather than organically formed. The idea that secret societies, such as Freemasons or other clandestine groups, orchestrated the war is a recurring theme in conspiracy literature. These theories often posit that these groups sought to destabilize existing monarchies, establish a new world order, or achieve specific political or economic objectives through conflict. While secret societies certainly existed and held influence in various spheres, direct evidence of their orchestrating a global war remains elusive. However, the allure of hidden power and unseen hands continues to fuel these speculative narratives, tapping into a deep-seated distrust of opaque power structures. Perhaps one of the most insidious and damaging conspiracy theories linked to World War I is the notion that Jewish elites orchestrated the conflict. This idea often draws upon the Protocols of the Elders of Zion, a fabricated text purporting to reveal a Jewish plan for global domination. This anti-Semitic forgery gained widespread circulation in the early 20th century. Despite being repeatedly debunked as a hoax, the Protocols was used to fuel anti-Semitism and blame Jewish people for the war and its aftermath. This hateful narrative exemplifies how conspiracy theories can be weaponized to scapegoat entire communities and justify prejudice. Its impact on subsequent history, particularly in Nazi Germany, was devastating. The sinking of the British passenger liner RMS Lusitania by a German U-boat in May 1915, resulting in the deaths of over 1,000 civilians, including 128 Americans, was a pivotal moment. It significantly turned American public opinion against Germany and contributed to the eventual U.S. entry into the war. Conspiracy theories suggest that the Lusitania was deliberately put in harm's way, perhaps even carrying munitions, to provoke American involvement. While it is now known that the ship did carry some war materials, the idea of a deliberate sacrifice to manipulate public sentiment remains a potent and controversial claim. The Zimmermann telegram, intercepted and decoded by British intelligence in 1917, revealed a German proposal to Mexico to form an alliance against the United States. Its publication further inflamed American public opinion and was a major factor in the U.S. decision to declare war. Some theories propose that the British, aware of the telegram's explosive potential, deliberately leaked it at a strategic moment to ensure American entry into the conflict. While the telegram itself was genuine, the timing and manner of its release raised questions about its calculated use as a propaganda tool. The Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, officially ended the war but imposed harsh terms on Germany, including massive reparations, territorial losses, and a war guilt clause. Many historians argue that these punitive measures created resentment and instability, directly contributing to the rise of Nazism and the outbreak of World War II. While not a conspiracy, the treaty's controversial nature and its long-term consequences are undeniable. It represents a critical point where the victor's desire for retribution arguably overshadowed the need for lasting peace, setting the stage for future global conflict. The controversies and conspiracy theories surrounding World War I persist because the scale of the conflict and its devastating consequences demand explanations that go beyond simple diplomatic failures. The idea that such a catastrophe could be the result of mere miscalculation is often unsatisfying. These theories, whether rooted in historical fact or pure speculation, reflect a human need to find order and agency in chaos. They challenge official narratives and encourage a deeper, more critical examination of historical events. They remind us that history is rarely as straightforward as it appears. Understanding the Great War requires moving beyond simplistic narratives and engaging with its complexities. While many conspiracy theories lack credible evidence, they highlight the importance of scrutinizing power, questioning motives, and recognizing the multifaceted nature of historical causation. The study of World War I, with all its controversies, serves as a powerful reminder of the fragility of peace and the profound impact of political decisions. It compels us to remain vigilant against the forces that can lead humanity down the path of destruction, whether they are overt or hidden in the shadows.